Okay, so we'll start the next application of op-amp, and that is nothing but comparator. Okay. Am I audible properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On my laptop, that live streaming is not there. That's why I'm asking. It's okay. If you are comfortable, then we will go ahead. Otherwise, just interrupt me. Huh? So see, last time we discussed about the various applications of that op-amp, like instrumentation amplifier. Then before to that instrumentation amplifier, we studied the integrators, differentiator, and all that. Okay. That integrator today is possible. That also we'll go on to implement during our practical session, and we'll try to observe the results. Right. Now the next one is a comparator. Simply that name itself indicates this circuitry. It will go on to compare the various signals applied to its input. Right. So I will show here a simple diagram for that comparator circuit. Okay, so take it. Is it visible properly? Whatever the circuit diagram I drawn on the board, is it visible properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see this comparator circuit, there are actually two signals. Out of that two signal, one is time varying signal, and that I title it as V in, and another one is the reference signal. That is a DC signal which will remain constant. Right. So according to you, how this circuitry will be able to process these two signals? Can anyone? It will be able to compare these two signals, and accordingly we will be able to provide the output. Working is so simple. So to understood the working of this comparator, I will show here that two signals, and accordingly what will be the output of that circuit, that we will be able to discuss. So this is nothing but our V in. I consider that V in as a sinusoidal signal having somewhat its peak amplitude as Vp. This is nothing but my V in. Okay, time varying signal, and another signal that is nothing but V reference, which is a DC signal. I will show it like this. This is nothing but our V reference. Okay. Now see, as we know, the shown op-amp, it is in open loop configuration. Right now, there is no feedback, either positive feedback or negative feedback. No feedback is there. That's why we are calling it as open loop configuration. In open loop configuration, as we know, the op-amp offers very high differential gain. Yes or no? For 741, how much is the differential gain? Can anyone? for 741, the open loop differential gain is how much? In ideal case, for op-amp, as we know, it offers the infinite gain, right now? Yes or no? Open loop gain of op-amp, it is infinite. Generally, we are saying it like this, ideally. Practically, it is very, very high. For 741, it is 2 into 10 raised to 5. Are you agree with this? Yes or no? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it visible properly, Blackboard?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, as we know, the open loop gain of the op-amp, it is infinite ideally. Practically, it is very, very high. For example, for 741, that open loop gain is 2 into 10 raised to 5. Right. So for very small input voltage, the op-amp output becomes 2 into 10 raised to 5 times of that small input. But that calculated value of output, it is very, very high, as the open loop gain is 2 into 10 raised to 5. Right. So we can't achieve that much high output voltage. But achieved output voltage, practically it is 90% of VCC. Right. And if we consider this VCC, suppose over here I taken it as plus 12 and minus 12, we can say the obtained output will be 90% of that 12, and that is nothing but 10.8. Right? Beyond that, it will not be possible. Right? Even if that gain is 2 into 10 raised to 5. Okay. Now, here as the op-amp use is in open loop configuration, initially whenever we will turn on both the inputs, that is reference voltage and V in, at t equals to 0, we will call this one as T0, that is at origin. V in, it is at 0 level, while reference voltage, it is at its somewhat constant level. We'll take by example, suppose this reference voltage I use is of 5 volt, right? And this input signal having its peak, suppose it is 10 volts, right? So see, at t equals to T0, as V in is at 0 potential and reference voltage is at plus 5 volt, which is connected to the inverting terminal of this op-amp, that reference voltage, while that V in time varying signal, it is connected to non-inverting terminal, right? So at t equals to T0, what will be the output of this circuitry? Can anyone? Just try it. At t equals to T0, what will be the output? At t equals to T0, V in is at 0 potential. That means non-inverting terminal is at 0 volts, while inverting terminal is at plus 5 as shown over there, and therefore the output will be minus Vsat. Are you agree with this? No. Okay. So at t equals to T0, as I said, that inverting terminal is at plus 5 volts, so its output will be saturated output, and that is minus 10.8. That is 90% of plus minus VCC. Now, see the time period T1. Here I will call it as T1. So T0 to T1, you will observe that V in is less than V reference. For time period T0 to T1, V in, it is less than V reference, and therefore the output of this circuitry for the same time duration, that is T0 to T1, it will remain at minus Vsat. That is nothing but minus 10.8 volts for the shown circuit. As already I mentioned that plus minus VCC of 12, right? At T1, V in and V reference will have the same value. At T equals to T1, V in, it will reach to 5 volts. V reference is already there, which is at plus 5 volts. And therefore, the differential voltage at T equals to T1, it will become 0, and hence the output of that circuitry, it will go to 0, as I shown over here. Later on, I will take another time period next, that is T2, or that T2 I will consider at its peak value. So see, at T equals to T2, that V in, it is greater than V reference, right? That V in is connected to non-inverting terminal, and that's why the output will get switched to plus Vsat, right? And it will remain at plus Vsat until that V in again comes back to equals to the reference voltage, and that is nothing but 5 volts. As shown over here, that is at T3, right? So for time period T1 to T3, the output of this circuitry, it will go to plus Vsat, like this. Later on, after T3 to onwards, you will observe that input signal, it continuously remains less than V reference. After T3, that V in, which is a time varying, it remains continuously less than V reference, and that's why its output will remain minus Vsat. So it will go to minus Vsat. I will consider another time period. Suppose it is T4. At T4, again V in becomes equals to V reference. That's why differential voltage will become 0, and therefore the output will become 0. And after T4, that V in again becomes more positive as compared to reference voltage, and therefore output will get switched to the plus Vsat up to over here. And later on, again it will remain minus Vsat. So this is nothing but the operation of basic comparator. It continuously monitors the two input signals and accordingly produces output either plus Vsat or minus Vsat, right? So such circuits are also known as voltage level detectors and mostly used in the applications such as digital interfacing, Schmitt triggers, voltage level detectors, oscillators, etc. So all these are the applications of this comparator circuit. This level, output level is plus Vsat, and for our example, it will be plus 10.8 volts. Is it clear? Any doubt? Is it visible? Blackboard is visible?
Yes.
Okay. So see, as the input signal is connected to the non-inverting terminal, this comparator, we can call it as non-inverting comparator, because the signal which we have to compare with somewhat fixed value reference voltage, as it is connected to non-inverting terminal, so we can call it as non-inverting comparator. Okay. Another thing, if I change the polarity of this reference voltage, instead of positive to the inverting, if I reverse it, that means somewhat like this. Negative to the inverting terminal and positive terminal grounded. That means, as for our example, instead of plus 5 volt, if I consider it as minus 5, that means I have to plot that reference voltage signal waveform over here. Right? This is nothing but minus 5 volt. Again, by the same logic, that pattern of output, it will get changed. See, in the previous one, as shown over here, the output remains at plus Vsat for small time duration because that reference voltage was positive, right? So if we reverse the polarity of that reference voltage, positive to negative, you try from your side by yourself what nature of output you will obtain. Okay. So the nature of obtained output will be positive saturation for large time duration and negative saturation for small time duration. Any doubt? Am I audible properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, this will be just as an assignment to you. Consider this reference voltage as a negative, that is minus 5 volt, connected to the inverting terminal. Show the waveform V in as it is and reference voltage below the x-axis as it is negative, and try to draw the output signal waveform. Okay, that plus Vsat time duration will be more as compared to minus Vsat. Right? Similarly, another type of comparator is there, or before going to that, in few reference books, somewhat protective diodes are shown at the input terminal of that op-amp like this. These diodes are known as protective diodes. Anti-parallel connection of that two diodes are there between two input terminals of that op-amp. If input signal amplitude is somewhat large as compared to the maximum differential voltage handling capacity of that op-amp, that is greater than its plus minus VCC, in short we can say, then to protect the op-amp, there is need of these protective diodes which are connected at the input terminals of that op-amp. Okay. So here we discuss about the non-inverting comparator. Right. Similarly, we can design and develop inverting comparator. This one is non-inverting comparator as input is connected to non-inverting terminal, while the reference signal, a constant reference signal, is connected to inverting terminal. Okay. Similarly, you can apply that V in to the inverting terminal and non-inverting terminal, you can connect reference voltage. Then it is known as inverting comparator. That also you have to try by yourself. It is so simple. The working is so simple. Okay. Now we'll switch to the next application of comparator itself as a zero crossing detector. In short, it is known as ZCD. So I will show here that in short, it is known as ZCD. Okay. So in zero crossing detector, that reference voltage generally it is considered at 0 volt, which is connected, suppose, to the non-inverting terminal. So this is my V reference, which is equals to 0 volts, and that input it is applied to the inverting terminal as shown. This is my V in, Okay. So why it is known as zero crossing detector? So see, whenever the zero crossing of that input signal occurs, the output of this circuitry, it will get switched between that transition of the output, it will be going to occur between plus Vsat and minus Vsat, right? So we'll say how it will be going to occur. Again, I will show that input signal as it is, that is sine wave, if it is there, and my another input, that is nothing but reference, it is at 0 volt itself. Suppose this one is 10 volt peak input signal, sinusoidal, right? Again, we can take the same time durations, that is at t equals to t0. Both inputs are at 0 level. Reference itself is at 0 potential, while input is also at origin, that is 0. That means the differential voltage is 0 volts, and hence the output of this circuitry will be 0. Or practically it will be somewhat offset. Now, during the first positive half cycle of that input, we will divide it between T0 to T1 and T2. Input is positive. As it is connected to the inverting terminal, the output of op-amp, it will be minus Vsat. So for time duration T0 to T2, what will be the output of this circuit? It will be minus Vsat. Okay. Now see, when input will start to increase negatively, that means for first negative half cycle, that I will call it as, suppose T2 to T4. Input is negative while reference voltage is 0. And that's why the output of this op-amp will be plus Vsat. So for time duration T2 to T4, the output will be plus Vsat. So remember this ZCD, whenever the zero crossing of that time varying signal occurs, the output of that zero crossing detector, it gets switched between one saturation level to the another saturation level as shown, right? And that's why we are calling it as a zero crossing detector. It detects where the zero crossing of that time varying signal occurs, right? That's why simple name, that is ZCD. Or we can call this one as any time varying signal to square wave generator. We can generate the square wave. See, it is symmetrical. In case of previous circuit, that is in comparator, as non-zero reference voltage was used, whatever the square wave we obtained, that was asymmetrical, right? That means if the reference voltage is above the x-axis, that means positive, then minus Vsat time duration was large as compared to plus Vsat, and when that reference signal polarity gets reversed, then what we discuss over there, the plus Vsat time duration was more as compared to minus Vsat time duration, right? And that's why we are calling that one as a symmetrical square wave generator. While this ZCD, if reference voltage is kept at 0 volts, then it will be a symmetrical square wave. Got it? Now there is one limitation with this ZCD. What is that limitation? If the signal frequency is very low, input signal frequency is very low, that means the signal is taking a much more time while crossing the zero level between its positive and negative half cycles. See what happens if that input signal frequency is very low, then that means the signal is taking much more time at its zero crossing, correct? So this circuitry, it may take somewhat more time for the transition between one saturation level to another saturation level. That means the obtained output, it may be somewhat like this, right? So this is nothing but time taken by that circuitry to have the transition between minus Vsat to plus Vsat, and same thing between plus Vsat to minus Vsat, this one. Okay, this is the transition time. So it may be there if the input signal frequency is very low. Similarly, if there is a noise signal, as reference voltage is kept at 0 volt, right? And if somewhat noise voltage is there, V noise, because of that noise voltage, unnecessarily the transition between that plus Vsat and minus Vsat may occur. So these are the limitations of the ZCD. So to overcome that limitation, another circuit is developed which is known as Schmitt trigger. So the next application of op-amp as a comparator is Schmitt trigger. In which a positive feedback is preferred to overcome the limitations of zero crossing detector. In zero crossing detector, there is no feedback, as well as that reference voltage, as it is kept at zero potential. So due to the noise voltage, or if input signal frequency is low, then unnecessarily the transition may occur in the output. So to overcome that, another type of circuitry is designed and developed which is known as a Schmitt trigger circuit, in which a positive feedback is used. How it works, that I will be able to explain now. Again, in that Schmitt trigger, initially I will prefer that input signal to the inverting terminal, time varying input. I will call it as Vin applied to Rin1, and as I said, to overcome the limitations of that ZCD, as we have to prefer a positive feedback, I will use here one voltage divider at the output formed by, suppose, R1 and R2. This is nothing but our VO, and the node voltage by that voltage divider, if we feed back to the non-inverting input of that op-amp. Is it visible? Schmitt trigger circuit? Just let me know fast. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Blackboard is visible?
Yes, sir.
Or is there any problem? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Blackboard visible properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So remember, in Schmitt trigger, to overcome the limitations of ZCD, that is zero crossing detector, against that noise signal or noise voltage signal or low frequency input signals, in Schmitt trigger positive feedback is preferred. Okay. So see that reference voltage now is not 0 volt. How much it will be? Can anyone? It will be either somewhat positive or somewhat negative. Why somewhat? I am saying like somewhat positive or somewhat negative. That I will explain now. See, if the output of this circuitry initially is, we can say, plus Vsat, right? Initially, see, even if that input signal is at zero potential, still practically there is somewhat output, which is known as, or which is due to the offset voltage, right? Output offset voltage. So due to that output offset voltage, initially, even if that input is at zero potential, Again, remember that output offset voltage that may be positive or that may be negative, right? So I will consider, suppose that output offset voltage is positive, right? Due to somewhat that positive output offset voltage, there will be somewhat drop across resistor R2. That will be very, very small because that offset voltage is very small, but it will be there right now. So that small voltage drop across R2, that is nothing but this node voltage, it is fed back to the non-inverting terminal of this op-amp, right? As the feedback used is positive feedback, what is the advantage of positive feedback? Advantage of positive feedback is it improves the gain, right now. The voltage gain of that circuitry gets increased. Already that op-amp offers very high gain. So due to the use of positive feedback, again that gain will get improved. That means it will be very, very high, and hence that small node voltage applied to the non-inverting terminal, we are considering that input is at zero potential. Okay, so that small node voltage at the non-inverting terminal, it will be going to produce the output to saturation level, right? That small input voltage into the gain of that circuitry. As positive feedback is used, gain will be very, very high. That very high gain into small that node voltage obtained by the offset output offset voltage, and by this voltage divider, it will be going to produce the output to saturation. Okay. Now that saturation, it may be plus Vsat or minus Vsat, positive saturation or negative saturation. Why I am saying maybe positive saturation or negative saturation? Because that offset voltage, initial output offset voltage, that may be positive or that may be negative. So if that initial output offset voltage is positive, we can say the obtained output will be plus Vsat, because this node voltage will be positive if the output offset voltage is positive, right? And that positive node voltage, it is applied to the inverting terminal. That's why output will get forced to plus Vsat. Similarly, if that output offset voltage initially is negative, this node voltage will be negative applied to the non-inverting terminal, and hence the output will be minus Vsat, right? So I will consider the initial output of that circuitry whenever input is at zero potential will be plus Vsat, right? So by that plus Vsat output, whatever node voltage we will have, that node voltage, we'll call it as, in general, it is known as Vt, threshold voltage. This node voltage, it is known as Vt. Okay. So if that initial output is plus Vsat, that Vt, it will be positive. Right now, that Vt, it will be positive, because for that node voltage, what is the source? Output is the source. Right now. So that Vt, it will be positive, which is called as upper threshold voltage, VUT. Remember this one. Due to the positive Vsat plus Vsat, the form Vt, it will be positive, which is known as VUT. And how much it will be? That VUT, it will be equals to plus Vsat into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Simple voltage divider rule. What is this plus Vsat? This is nothing but VO. So for this threshold voltage, that is the output voltage. And how much it is? Initially we consider if it is plus Vsat. Then this threshold voltage, that will be positive, which is known as upper threshold voltage, denoted by VUT, right? Which is equals to plus Vsat into R2, voltage divider rule, divided by R1 plus R2, right? Similarly, if initial output voltage is minus Vsat, then this Vt will be negative, right now. If initial output is minus Vsat, then this Vt, it will be negative. Negative Vt, it is denoted by VLT, lower threshold voltage. Okay, and how much, or how we can determine that lower threshold voltage? That will be equals to minus Vsat, because we are considering initial output as minus Vsat now. So minus Vsat into remaining as it is, that is due into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So these are the two formulas to determine that VUT and VLT, right? The same thing, in short, you can write beta times of plus Vsat. And over here, the same you can write beta times of minus Vsat. That beta, it is nothing but feedback factor, and that is equals to R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So this is known as a feedback factor, beta. Is it clear? Is it okay up to over here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we'll say it's working by taking that signal waveform. Now remember that VUT and VLT are working as a reference voltage, right? In case of ZCD, that reference voltage was 0, and that's why there is a problem with that circuitry to become unstable, right now. So to improve the working of that ZCD, we prefer positive feedback, and that circuitry is known as Schmitt trigger. So in Schmitt trigger circuitry, there are two reference signals. The two reference signals are VLT and VUT. Okay. So I will consider this one as my input signal as a sinusoidal. I will show that plus VT over here. This is nothing but VUT, upper threshold voltage. And VLT over here. This is nothing but V lower threshold voltage, and this one is my V in. Okay. So just check the various crossing points of input signal and the both VTs. It will be over here, and again during positive half over here. So just think on it. Apply the same logic. Initial V in, initially output is plus Vsat, and that's why we got this threshold voltage Vt as VUT, which is a positive, right? And now there is a non-zero V in, but less than VUT. That means this time duration. Our input is increasing positively, but still it is less than VUT. Okay. Where the VUT is applied, that VUT is available to the non-inverting terminal. So non-inverting terminal is more positive as compared to V in for the shown time duration. That means up to over here. And hence, what will be the output of this circuit? It will remain plus Vsat. So for this much time duration, the output of this circuitry will remain plus Vsat, right? Now, we call that time duration as T1 so that it will be somewhat simple for your understanding purpose. So see, at T equals to T1, V in is equals to VUT, right? At T equals to T1, V in is equals to VUT. That V in input signal, it reaches to the amplitude which is equals to upper threshold level, which is a constant, right? So when that input signal reaches to VUT, the differential input signal, it becomes 0, right? Now differential voltage is nothing but what? The difference between two input signals, V in 1 minus V in 2. That already we discussed whenever we studied the basic applications of that op-amp. Okay, so at T equals to T1, VUT is equals to V in. That's why differential voltage will become 0, and hence the output will be differential input into gain. So differential input is 0, so whatever may be the gain, output will become 0. and hence at t equals to t1, this output will go to 0. Correct? So see, when that output will go to 0, this threshold voltage also will become 0. Right now, because what is the source for this VT? VO, and VO goes to 0 at t equals to t1. Now, input is positively going. As it is time varying, it will be at some of positive potential at t equals to t1. So at t equals to t1, immediately the output will become minus Vsat. Initially it will go to 0 and immediately it will go to minus Vsat, because that Vin is available at the inverting terminal. So that it will go to minus Vsat like this. And now just check up to how much time duration it will remain at minus Vsat. So see, whenever output will go to minus Vsat, this Vt, it will become VLT, right? Because the source for this Vt, it will be VO, which is minus Vsat. So minus Vsat into R2 divided by R1 plus R2, that is nothing but VLT, right? So there are two signals now, Vin and VLT, right? That VLT, it is applied to the non-inverting terminal, which is less than Vin. Vin is positive, right? So even if that Vin goes to 0, right? But the non-inverting potential is negative. That means this Vin, we can say it will be more dominant as compared to that VLT, and that's why output will remain minus Vsat. Okay. Now just check at this crossing point, we will call it as time period T2. At t equals to T2, Vin is equals to VLT. At t equals to T2, Vin, it comes equals to VLT. That is, both are negative and of the same amplitude. Therefore, the differential voltage, it will become 0 at t equals to T2. As differential voltage will become 0, output will go to 0. And up to T2, that output will remain minus Vsat. At t equals to T2, as output goes to 0, Vt will become 0, right? While our Vin is at negative potential. At t equals to T2, Vin is at somewhat negative potential, while Vt, it becomes 0. So 0 volt is the more dominant as compared to that another input, which is at negative potential, right? And therefore, the output of this circuitry, it will get forced to plus Vsat because of this 0 Vt, right? At t equals to T2. As it will get forced to plus Vsat, that Vt will become again VUT, this one. And therefore, output of this circuitry, it will go to plus Vsat. And just check up to what time duration it will remain to plus Vsat, right? Now, as output goes to plus Vsat, Vt becomes VUT, okay? Input signal is still, it is negative, and when it will come back to positive and equals to VUT, output will remain plus Vsat. That means up to over here, output will remain plus Vsat, and at t equals to T3, we can call as Vin is equals to VUT, differential voltage will become 0 and hence output will go to 0. And later on, that cycle will get repeated. So you will observe here, we are generating a symmetrical square wave, right? So this Schmitt trigger again can convert any type of input signal into a square wave, symmetrical square wave. So hope so you might have